Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's great to have you with us for another episode of Explore Tulsa. What are you looking up over here, Stevie?
It's the history of the bow tie.
Oh, and what did you come up with?
Well, the bow tie originated among the Croatian mercenaries during the Prussian Wars of the 17th century. And as a way to hold their openings on their shirts together, the bow tie is often also looked upon as an air of sophistication.
But they just look so hard to tie.
That's why a couple of Tulsa guys came up with a very trend-setting design by creating a bow tie made of wood.
I think anybody who's willing to wear a bow tie is willing to kind of make of a statement, willing to stand outside the norm. And so I always like the idea of wearing a bow tie because I'm kind of a contrarian. I always want to kind of do something different. But the regular bow ties were just, there was a little too, it just wasn't quite my style. So I like the kind of the masculine touch that the wood adds to it. You know, I still feel really manly wearing it. I feel like I can have my 5 o'clock shadow and wear my wooden bow tie and it all go together. I'm Tim Passley with the Two Guys Bow Tie Company. A buddy and I had the idea to make wooden bow ties. I was just in the shop late one night working on a couple side projects. I built furniture and props and stuff in the past and had the idea for a wooden bow tie. Started looking around online and I'd seen that there were a couple guys doing them, but there wasn't anybody doing exactly kind of what I had in mind or what I had pictured. And so Adam and I started playing with some ideas. We ended up with the design that we have now. Adam made a website and got our business started. So we launched right before Christmas, and it was a good thing, but it was a good thing and a bad thing. We happened to get on this blog called Uncrate. It's a blog mainly for guys, and they just show random products that they think are cool, a lot of special edition, and we happened to get them some of our stuff, and they put it on their site the very beginning of December. So it was right at shopping time. Everybody was looking for Christmas gifts. Luckily, it wasn't just astronomical because we couldn't have handled it. I mean, we were still kind of figuring out how to do things. We thought we would, just get some stuff, try to sell some stuff for Christmas. Sales picked up quickly, and so we started trying to get equipment together more quickly. We worked like crazy that first month, and but we survived, and it gave us a lot of momentum moving into the new year. So from there, we ended up in Esquire, we ended up in GQ in France. And so that just kind of got the ball rolling and gave us the confidence to keep going forward. I'm a huge basketball fan. Luckily, when the NBA changed that they established a dress code, it kind of became the playoffs were kind of fashion season for NBA. And so last year, I got in touch with the stylist for Mike Conley. And the next week, he wore one, and it happened to be during the series against the Thunder. And so that was obviously a huge highlight for us. And it was it was a funny thing because the next night I was working in the shop, and about midnight my buddy calls and says, hey, they just talked about your bow tie on TV. And I was like, Ernie Johnson, the guy who does the color commentary for TNT, he always wears bow tie. And so the sideline reporter had caught Mike coming out of the press conference and just did a quick interview and said, hey, Ernie always wears the bow tie, maybe he should try the wooden bow tie. And so Ernie said, hey, send me some bow ties. And within 10 minutes, he said, hey, I assume you heard Ernie wanted some bow ties. Here's his address. And so we got to send him some bow ties, and we made some fun ones for Shaq. Shaq and Charles were kind of ragging on them, saying they look like a dog bone. So Charles is always talking about his dog. So I put their faces on each side, and I cut his to look like a dog bone. And then I made Shaq's at least twice as big as our normal bow ties, and we put the Superman fabric on it. And I about died when I saw it, because I mean, he grabbed it and it looked like a normal sized bow tie. I mean, he is just a massive guy. So it's just been a lot of fun. We're in Tulsa and we're in Oklahoma because that's where we're from. I went to the University of Tulsa, stuck around, we bought a house. I worked on that, and it's become home. This is where we're from. This is what we, Adam grew up kind of all over the place. He spent some time in Indonesia, down in Texas, but his family ended up here. He went to OSU and stuck around afterwards, and this is just where it is. The great thing about Tulsa is that they support their local businesses and they allow us to be competitive, kind of having mentors that when we first started out, we did a lot of our business online, but we didn't know how to do the wholesale. We didn't really know, and so we got to talk to a lot of the local businesses, and they helped us out. Hey, think about this, do it this way. This is what works for us. If you can do this, it makes it a lot easier, and maybe get your foot in the door. And so there's just been so much support from Tulsa, whether it's been exposure, whether it's just anything. People wear them, they love it, and so it's just good to be from Tulsa.